So what does a massive NASA control room monitoring a rocket launch have in common with your local sports bar on an NFL Sunday?
Well, they actually both rely on a $1,299 black box to keep their video networks from just, descending into total chaos.
Right. And today you are joining us for a deep dive into that exact hidden infrastructure of commercial AV. We are decoding a very specific piece of hardware today, the Turtle AV TAV-CHAZY-CTLPRO Control Pro Central Management Box.
Yeah, so priced just under 1,300 bucks.
Mhm.
This box really sits at the center of a dizzying, just massive ecosystem of HDTV supply products. I mean, we were talking about managing infrastructure like Wolfpack modular matrix switchers, 8K HDMI extenders, and setups capable of routing like 160 unique inputs to 160 different displays simultaneously.
Which is wild because, I mean, for the average person, AV management means figuring out which HDMI port the gaming console uses, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But for commercial spaces, it's like conducting this sprawling digital symphony. But I do have to ask, with equipment that advanced, shouldn't modern displays just, auto-negotiate over an IP network?
You would think so, yeah.
Why introduce a $1,300 middleman just to sit in the center of the rack?
Well, because modern commercial AV is this highly fragmented web of totally different protocols, resolutions, and signal types. A massive commercial setup isn't just speaking one uniform language.
So they aren't just plug and play.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
You have AV over IP systems, complex video wall processors, and even legacy analog adapters, all sharing the exact same network.
Which sounds like a recipe for a crash.
Exactly. Without a dedicated brain standardizing the handshakes between these devices, everything falls apart. Like managing ED data, so an 8K source doesn't just completely panic and fail when it detects a 1080p display on the line.
So it's really less like conducting a symphony and more like a high-stakes air traffic controller.
That is a great way to put it, actually.
Because you have massive 8K jumbo jets and
Right.
legacy analog biplanes all trying to land on the exact same network at the exact same millisecond.
Yeah.
And this Turtle AV box is what actually stops them from colliding.
Right. It standardizes the signal types and the network bandwidth priorities so everything plays in perfect sync. It basically forces all those disparate, fragmented pieces to function as a single unified stream.
And if it's forcing all those fragmented protocols to sync with zero latency, I mean, that really explains a fascinating logistical quirk in the client list we saw in the source material.
Oh, the target audiences. Yeah, it is quite the mix.
It really is. You have expansive sports bar TV systems buying this exact same tier of AV supply infrastructure alongside a strict federal procurement channel.
Right, the government stuff.
Exactly. Places purchasing through the federal GSA schedule, utilizing TAA-approved hardware, and even routing through the NASA CPRE program.
It is a bit surreal, I know. But whether you're broadcasting 50 simultaneous sports games to a room full of rowdy fans, or, routing critical telemetry data in a secure government facility, the fundamental requirement is exactly the same.
Which is just fail-proof execution.
Right. The technology itself doesn't know if it's processing a touchdown pass or a shuttle launch.
It just knows it cannot drop a single frame. Because, I mean, a black screen at a sports bar during a championship game causes a riot.
Yeah, but a black screen at NASA causes a national crisis.
Exactly. Both scenarios demand ironclad reliability over massive, continuous network strain.
And that level of zero latency reliability is really only achievable by centralizing the network processing away from the individual displays and putting it right into a dedicated management controller.
So the next time you walk into a sports bar and see dozens of perfectly synced screens wrapping around the room, you will have a whole new appreciation for the intense, hidden infrastructure.
For sure.
And of course, the central management box is actively wrestling those data streams behind the scenes to make it look effortless.
Yeah, you definitely start looking past the screens and wondering about the network racks powering them.
You really do. Which leaves you with one final thought to explore on your own. If it already requires a dedicated $1,300 central management brain and a massive catalog of heavy-duty switchers just to wrangle standard 2D video networks today,
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
what sort of incomprehensible infrastructure are we going to need when these commercial spaces inevitably transition to fully immersive, high-bandwidth 3D spatial computing environments?
Yeah, it is the big question.
Will the air traffic controller of that future network even be a physical box or something else entirely?